I see.
I'm still waiting, setting up.
It says it's streaming live here.
Okay, good. Hello, everybody. Yay, I can see us now. Had a few issues, but we have ironed them out, thankfully. I had to go from one room to another room. My internet was wonky. It's so you can't predict things when things are live, right? You got to deal with it. I'm very happy to be here with all of you today and introduce you to my very special guest. She's a dear friend. We're in the same profession together, and she has a really important message that I wanted her to share with all of you. It's my great pleasure to introduce to you my dear friend, Denise.
Hi, everybody. So happy to be here.
Wonderful.
So happy to be
Tell everybody a little bit about you. Where do you live? What do you do? And what kind of brought you to the grief group?
So I live in Tampa, Florida, sunny Florida.
Jealous?
Really nice and hot. Yesterday it was 100 degrees.
Thanks.
So maybe not so jealous. I'm a mom and a grandmother, and that's really wonderful. I am a hypnotist, and I perform on stage, and I help people to change their mind in my clinical office. And today, evidently, my lips are on vacation. So
life is so much fun, right?
Yeah, because they are not working. So what brought me to the grief group, for one thing, is a dear friend of mine. This is going downhill. She is a dear friend of mine, and when she started doing this, I thought there is such a need for this, because those of us who love animals and we love our pets, they are our children, our babies, our family. You know, there's not a lot of places that you can go to find understanding and even help for that. And if somebody doesn't have a pet and you even dare to compare it to anything human, it can be disastrous. So I thought, what a great idea to help people. And we were talking the other day and happened on a subject, and Kendra said, would you talk to my group? And I thought, yeah, I'll talk to your group. That sounds like a good idea. So go ahead.
I was going to say that one of the things that you and I both deal with as hypnotists is when people come into our office, we're almost decoding their words, right? Their what they're projecting onto themselves and the world, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I know myself, when people come into the office, the first thing that I'm looking for is how are they connecting, and do they realize what they're saying could potentially be keeping them stuck into the state that they present to us, right?
Sure, and you and I know, because of our studies, how powerful our words are that we say to ourselves. And a lot of times we don't even think about it. Right. And we don't even have a reason to think about it. But I have had reason to think about it and been in places where I've learned to see it differently, not only in my hypnotic training, but in spiritual training. And so, and changing words, even from my spiritual vantage point, has made a huge difference for me, because when we use our words, we're programming our mind. So we want to put good stuff in there because there's already enough crud in there, right?
So, when we're raising our children, because we're both moms. Yeah. If we were, when our children were born, if we were to fill them up with nothing but negativity, what kind of a product would we be producing?
Scary. You know, really, if they survived.
Right.
If they survived, they'd have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
To have a healthy, happy life, because you as I know as well that it not only affects your brain and your actions, it affects your health. It affects your life outcome. And it's why you and I both know it's so important that we speak the way we do to young children, because they don't have any critical factor or anything to block what's coming in. They're a sponge, and they take everything in to make their programming, everything, up to a certain 7 to 10 years old, when they can finally say, I don't know if that's true.
What is critical factor, Denise, just for the people that
Sure.
don't necessarily understand in, the hypnosis?
It's that part of your mind that is able to look at something and judge it and assess it and accept it or reject it. And little kids don't have that. So if you kept telling a little child the sky was green, after a while, a 4-year-old would agree with you. Most likely, if you said it enough, because they have nothing much. They may look at it, but they don't have the mental capacity to really figure that out, to go get other help or something else to help them make the decision. So it's not until, kind of 7 to 10 years old where they develop that, somewhere around that.
Yep.
Where they can say to you, it's when they stop believing, in my grandchildren's cases, it's when they stop believing my jokes.
Or Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny, right?
Right. Because they can think it through now and judge and assess. And so we can too, but there's so many programs that we don't know about in our subconscious mind or unconscious mind running that we can't figure them all out. So you watch your words. We'll tell you what's running.
Right. So, okay, so so I understand that our words are very powerful and that we can create great things by using positive words and putting positivity, kind of like, The Secret. When The Secret was really big out there, everybody was, creating these vision boards on all these wonderful things that they were going to have and achieve in the world. And it was all based on mindset and what you envisioned and what you projected and
what you program into your mind, because what you envision and project is what you're putting in here.
Exactly.
Where you're getting your direction from.
But how do you do that, Denise, when somebody is broken? Somebody is broken in half and they're not seeing any sunshine. They're not seeing anything positive out there. How do we get that message across to those individuals?
Well, I certainly understand that journey because I was surely that person. I did not grow up in a beautiful place and have beautiful things happen. So I've changed myself. And when you've lost a loved one, whether it be a human or a pet, you are broken. I had to put down my beloved quarter horse Jack, and he was a quarter horse stallion. We used him for breeding, and you could put the smallest child on him. And while I was going through therapy to help myself from the way I grew up, I would go out and just put a rope around him. Wow. And lay on his back in the sun after therapy when I'd be just, so sad and broken, and feel his power. And he'd just walk around munching grass while I laid there and absorbed his love and power. So pets do that for us when we're broken. But we have to, besides surrounding ourselves with people who will support us, that's so important. It's so important. We have to take a step even when we don't feel it.
Right.
We have to start watching our words, for instance, and instead of saying, I am broken. You're giving a direct command to your brain to make you broken. Instead of, I feel so broken. Those are one's expressing your emotions. The other one is saying, this is who you are.
Direct suggestion, right?
It's a direct suggestion. And believe me, the brain is like a fast food joint You just went up and ordered, I am broken, and they're going to deliver it.
Yeah.
You know, one big helping of I am broken, and your brain's going to deliver on it and make you feel worse.
Or how about other words that people say in bereavement? I can't go on. I'm today. I'm never going to get through this. This hurts. This is going to hurt forever. I'm just thinking of, you know, the ones that we hear often and kind
Sure.
of play on loop in our brain, right?
Sure. And it's okay to have those feelings. You can't not have those feelings. You know, I watched my horse. I watched him bulldoze a big hole, walk him down into it, and shoot the needle in, and watch this beautiful stallion crumple. And I thought I would never be the same. And I am not ever the same. After we lose something like that, we're changed. We have a new normal.
How old was Jack?
Oh, he was young.
What happened?
He got colic really badly, and nobody could help him. We thought he'd turn the corner, and you know, so good. And then his gut so twisted, the vet said, there's nothing that can be done. So he was in terrible, terrible pain.
I used to raise horses as well. I don't know if you knew that about me or not.
Yeah, you told me the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I had quarter horses and I had Appaloosas, and I lost two mares to colic. And it's devastating. It's devastating. And
Yes.
You're helpless and there's nothing you can do. And horses, all animals are amazing, but horses, there's just something magical about a horse.
They are magical, and they have something. I worked on a quarter horse ranch for 8 years, and I green broke horses and worked with the foals and helped with the breeding and that kind of thing. And so there's just, it's in your blood, right, Kenda?
Yeah.
It's in your
Oh,
blood. Yeah. And just the smell makes me, I want to go lean my head against them. And they're very just soothing, and they have such personalities.
Yeah.
Horses and chickens.
Chickens. I've never had
Chickens really have unique personalities. If you've ever had chickens, they are hysterical. I love chickens.
You know what my problem is? I always dreamt that one day I'd love to have this huge, I used to, before when I was married, I had a 200-acre hobby farm and lots of horses. And, you know, my aspirations were one day to have like kind of every animal out there, one of everything. Like
a zoo.
Yeah, like a little zoo. But I could never have, like, if I had chickens and baby calves and things like that, I would never be able to kill them, because they're just my buddies, and I hate vegetables. So it really puts a real conundrum on me. Is like, okay, I can't eat these because they're my friends, but yet I hate vegetables. So I'm glad I've never owned anything that I had to eat, because I would never be able to kill them.
No, we couldn't do it either. You know, sometimes we had a pool, big pool that wasn't screened in. And I was just on a half acre, and I had and occasionally one of the chickens would fall in the pool and drown when we weren't around. And my husband would stand there and he'd say, you know, this is organic. It's like, it's no,
meant to be.
We're burying this. We do not eat our pets. We're not doing that. I never did that. And I didn't ever have the nerve to, when they would get, you know, to a certain point and starting getting bad, if they didn't die, take them to grandma's hugging farm, and where kids could pet them. And
I love that.
And I can't do that either. I can't do that either.
No, it's funny how that prevents us from becoming who we want to become, right?
Yeah.
So
I wanted to say, can I say a little bit more about the words? Yeah. I wanted to say something in particular about, you pointed out so well that, you know, what we say, even when we say, I'll never, I will be, how strong those are. But the phrase I am is the strongest of all. It really is. And if you go through the Bible, scripture, and other religion scripture, the phrase I am is so powerful, and it can be used to build you up or take you down. So you were asking earlier, what do I do when I'm so broken?
Right.
That I can't you can say, I am healing. You can choose. You don't have to believe it. You can choose to say, I'm healing. I am growing. I am learning. I am open. Whatever word that is, and you are programming your brain to reach in and get the resources that are in you to help you. When we say I can't, we are shutting down the brain's ability to connect with all the resources we have within us to get through these times. So you don't have to believe it, Kenda.
Right.
Say, I am healing. I am strong. I am resourceful. I am kind. Even say I'm kind, because during these times we need to be kind to ourselves. You know, it's really easy to be kind to everybody else, but during those times we need to be kind and loving. So I say, I am kind, I am loving. It's going to include to me.
There's nothing, we can't help others when, you know, especially when we're just freshly bereaved.
Yes.
There's nothing in us, you know. I just think back of my experiences of losing people and pets. There's nothing in me to be able to help other people. We become very selfish at that point. And I think it's designed to be that way so that we can learn to heal our hearts and heal our minds, right?
Yeah, and it's true. And the word selfish has such a negative connotation, but it isn't. We go in to be self-healing, to be self-loving, to be self-strengthening. I lost my husband 5 years ago, and for the first, I don't know how long, it took 2 years before I felt differently. But in the first, I don't know, 8 months or whatever, I just go into my apartment and cry.
Yeah.
I just cry, and I wanted to help people, and I didn't know what I would be any given day. It was one of the places that was okay is when I would be on stage. But I remember it was just 1 month after he passed, and I was headed to do a show across the state. And it was, it was hard. And I cried all the way to the venue. And when I was getting close to the venue, I was just looking for a sign or something. And there was a big billboard. There's a Japanese jazz artist that my husband loved. It is not the kind of thing you generally see. I can't think of her name right now, but jazz people would know who she is.
Okay.
And coming up to there was the big sign that said so-and-so performing right here in the city. And I knew
out of here.
You know, that was for me, that was a sign to say all is good.
That he's there.
He's there. He's there for me. You're okay.
That gives me goosebumps.
Right. Yeah, I got him too.
Yeah.
And so you know, we need that time to take care of ourselves, and we need to watch what we're saying both ways.
Both ways.
You
and
know,
we're designed to heal.
Yes.
And I know that's hard to believe when you're freshly bereaved and your heart is broken and you're raw. But, you know, for thousands and thousands of years, God designed us to be able to heal ourselves. And if God, you know, if you're not a Christian, whatever your spirituality beliefs are, we have been dealing with death. And that's the one thing that's a constant, right?
Yeah,
nobody gets through life without experiencing a loss of a loved one. It's impossible.
Well, not often anyway.
No.
You know?
Yeah, it's absolutely impossible.
You may, but you're going to be really young if that happens. So
right.
But you know what? And what I found along with, you know, how we got started talking about this was I was talking about the white stone ceremony. Do you remember that when we were talking about the ceremony?
Yeah, tell us about that. Share
okay,
us.
so I learned this through the Unity Church. I don't know if other people do it or other religious organizations do it.
Okay.
But they have on New Year's Eve what they call the burning bowl, and you write all the things you're ready to let go of in your life on a paper as you're praying and meditating, and then you take it outside and put it in a burning bowl. Then you come back in and you write the things, the new things you want for your life. You know, you fill in the spots that were gone. And then after that, usually the next week, they have what is a white stone ceremony. And in the scriptures, slaves were given a white stone when they were let out of prison, when they were set free. And if they had that stone and somebody was hunting them down or something, they'd show the stone and it had their name on it. And it was proof that they were free, So Unity does a thing where you meditate every year at the beginning of the year and you ask for a new name. And you take that white stone and you write it with I am. So mine this year is I am open. That's my word this year. And it's been amazing how that is transforming me. But what's beautiful about that and beautiful about when you're grieving, I found that rituals help. Yeah. Even rituals that you make up to soothe yourself. So, you know, you can make yourself a new name now and write it on a white stone. Just sit and pray or meditate and ask for a new name, maybe to handle this situation if you're grieving. A new name to call yourself. Write it on a stone. And I put mine, I have my stones, I don't know if you can see this, around. This is my one this year. It says I am. And I keep it where I am to remind myself I am open. That's my name this year. My name is open.
I love that, Denise.
Rituals to help yourself. When I was getting over my husband's death, I would buy myself flowers. I really didn't have money to buy myself flowers. I would buy myself flowers and say, you're going to be all right.
You're going to be okay. I mean, if we can't love ourselves and we can't do things for ourselves as far as self-care goes, it makes it more difficult if we're putting these expectations on the people around us. Sometimes we don't have people around us. Sometimes we're living alone. Yeah. Sometimes people grieve differently than we do, even if it is a husband or a brother or family member.
My daughter grieved totally different than I do. It's very hard. I couldn't talk with her. She didn't want to talk about it.
Really? Yeah. So how difficult is that as a mom?
Oh, it's been hard. It's still hard. She doesn't, you know, she gave me a clue the other day. She said to me, you know, she had to let her cat go. She was an old cat and she was sick. And she said, I hate to cry. It makes me feel crummy. And I thought, oh, how could I have missed that about you all these years? She said, I don't want to talk about it anymore. So I hate to cry because it makes me feel crummy and I've got stuff to do. I knew that about her. But so you're right. We all do it differently, but you have to reach down. These kind of passings and things that happen to us, you've got a choice. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but you've got to just keep choosing a little thing at a time.
Yeah.
Those small little things, just pick one thing and do it. Just one thing to help yourself. Find someone who can listen to you.
Right. Yes, so important. Yeah. You're finding a tribe is so important, right?
And ask them. When I was healing from my childhood stuff, I had one man that I asked if I could call him and talk to him about the worst things that had happened to me. And he was my go-to, and he said yes. I went around and asked people for certain things. No one person can give you everything. But maybe you could ask somebody to send you a note every 2 weeks. Drop you a card in the mail. And we think, well, if they didn't know to do it, that's not genuine. Yes, it is. That someone would stop and take a time and send you a note that says, I'm thinking of you. You're going to get through this. You get it. I had people that would do that for me.
And we can't get angry about what we don't receive when we don't ask for what we need, right?
That's right. They don't know. We think that they should.
Right.
We think that, especially we think the closest people to us should, but they have their own stuff and it doesn't make them less than. And it's, you know what, it's empowering. And I can't think of one person. I went around to a lot of people and asked for help when I was going through therapy. I can't think of one person that said no.
Yeah. And it's just knowing that when you're in the depth and in the guts of grief, that you do need help, and you don't need to go through any of this alone.
No.
That if you're surrounded by people that aren't compassionate to your needs, then I mean, you've got groups like this one where you can reach out. There's almost 500 people in this group, so you can.
That is one of the great things about this group. I mean, I would have loved to have had something like this group when I had to put Jack down. You know, or my dog of my life, Chloe, you know, so that it would have been a place where I'd feel safe to say, today sucks. Somebody tell me something good.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't, I mean, you're sad, you miss your pet or your human with all your heart and soul, but every day you have to show a little bit of progress towards going to find your new norm. I hate that term with the COVID and everything, but even in grief, there's a new norm when you're coming home and that tail and those four feet aren't waiting for you. I mean, whether it's a horse, whether it's a dog, a cat, a gerbil, you know, it's finding your way when you're ultimately alone, and keeping your sanity.
Yeah. I lost Jack. Had to let him go about 3 weeks ago, and he was 19. He was the sweetest, most loving cat. He'd come into the room and go like this, you know, just gently. He'd sit next to you. It's almost as if he was saying, "Hey, I'm here. You want to talk?" Whatever. But, you know, I come into the house, sometimes I forget. I see something black, he was a black cat, on the table or something like that. Oh, Jack. And then, you know, and those are hard, aren't they? Those moments where you forget and you come into the house and you're calling, "Here, girl," or something like that.
Yep.
And then you remember.
Then the reality hits you.
So you've got to be kind.
Yeah.
And you've got to hate this too, but it takes time.
I know. And you know, that's the hardest thing. People will reach out to me and they'll say, "Please give me some advice. How can I stop this pain?" And I'm like, you don't want to stop this pain. You need to feel this pain. You need to go through this. Like, I worry about your daughter, Denise, because the next time she has a loss in her life, how is she going to be when she has stuffed her feelings down about her father and not processed them? Am I right?
She did. Well, yeah, but she went and got help. She went to a counselor.
Okay,
she just didn't talk to me about it.
Got you. Okay.
I would have liked, but I'm glad she went and got help. She went for a couple months and got help for him.
Very important.
She's very private.
Okay, and you know, she didn't want to burden you.
Maybe she knows I'm emotional. My daughter loves me a lot, but we're two different personalities. She's very German.
Well,
so,
and when
I love Germans too. That's not a German, but she's very stoic. She'll handle it.
When you're grieving and you turn to somebody in your life who is a helper or in the helping industry like you and I are in, we can't give what we can't feel, because we've got to almost become selfish and help ourselves at that point, right?
Yeah. I did do a lot of, help. I would do little things, but you know what? And in the same term, if you can find something you can do for somebody else, maybe just a kind word when you're out shopping, it does help you move on. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Let someone in while you're driving.
Yeah.
Let them in. Give a flower to somebody. It helps you feel alive again.
Do something for no reason and don't expect anything in return. Even on this group, when I welcome new members to the group, that if they've joined our group, it's because they've suffered a loss recently, and maybe you're 3 months in. welcome them to the group and tell them you're glad they're here and you've been where they've been and things are going to be okay. When we can kind of reach out to other people who are going through something similar to what we're going through, we're never the same, but something similar, a loss nonetheless.
Right.
It just seems to help us heal. Don't you find, Denise?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because words don't have to be spoken, first of all, for you to feel the comfort. They're a fellow sojourner. They're on this journey with you at that time. And we've all walked close to somebody that during times when we never said a word, and yet we got comfort, right?
Yeah.
And that's invaluable. And your group certainly provides that, I'm sure. I know I've, seen people come on and seen other people talk to them. And I think, what a gift, Kenda.
And we have to realize that people aren't broken. They're grieving.
Yes.
There's a difference between somebody being broken and somebody grieving. They don't need to be fixed. They need to be validated. They need to be heard. Their grief needs to be witnessed. But we can't fix them. We don't want to fix them. They need to feel those feelings. They need to go through excuse my language, they need to go through the shit.
It's true.
It hurts.
And it's so true. It's so true when you can validate when somebody, what I found with my husband is very short time after, people don't talk about him anymore. It's like now he's gone from your life and he's really gone. Nobody asks, or very few people. And so when somebody would ask, I would feel validated. They know I'm going through something. They took the time to care, to just say, how you doing with everything? Now, how you doing? Not like Joey Triviani. How you doing? No, just the
one thing I get people to do is I want them to say their pet's name.
Yes.
I think there's so much validation in just telling people that your pet has a name and your pet has had a purpose in this world, in your life. Lessons that pet taught you. And you will discover, like, I'm sure when you think back, I like how it's interesting how you named your cat Jack. I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, well, I didn't, the cat came with the name Jack.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you named it and I thought, that's
it had something to do with poker. I hated that and I shorted it to Jack.
Okay. But you think of the lessons that our pets teach us, and they do teach us things.
They do.
And in the early days, you don't see those lessons. You can't. There's just too much that you're processing. But eventually, you will come to that point where you're like, okay, well, you know what? This is something that my pet taught me. This is something that I'm going to move forward and I'm going to do because of what I got from my pet. And for me, that's how this group came about, Denise. And it didn't happen until 3 years after I lost Stella, but just everything kind of came together. And when I look back on it now, it's like I was destined to do this because of the things that happened to me in my past that weren't all that great.
Yes, I feel like that's why I'm a clinical hypnotist right now. That I've been many things in my career. It's just, I've done so many different things and there's a reason for that. But all of the things that I've done in my life combined to bring me here, where when somebody comes in to see me, I feel like I have so much to offer them beyond the training I've had as a hypnotist from my life experience. And I think that's true of all of us, especially as we age. When we're not spring chickens anymore.
No, but okay, here's something.
Okay.
Can all of a sudden I decide in my 40s that, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this. I'm going to become this. It's never too late, right?
No, it isn't. Well, I've done so many different things, and I don't even know this is the last thing. You know, I'm open to wherever life leaves me next, and whatever looks interesting. And you know what? I'm almost 70, and
What?
I am.
I didn't know that, Denise.
Oh, you
I did
didn't
not
know
know
that?
that.
Yeah.
I would never in a million years, never.
Hair
I
color.
don't even believe you. You're going to have to show
Hair
me your
color.
driver's license. I don't believe you. That's amazing.
It's true. And so, you know, I used to think, oh, I can't start this new because I'm getting, you know, I'd be worried about it. And I got to the point where I just thought, screw it. I started researching all the people who didn't make, you know, famous people who didn't start until they were 65 and 70.
Yeah.
And that was inspiring. I thought, well, dang, bring it on.
Yeah.
And I still feel that way. I don't know. Something else may come up that I want to do more. Always wanted to. So.
See, I'm all about that. I'm all about, you know, as we mature and we gain this wisdom, it's starting to live the life that you want to live. You don't want to be that person sitting at the old age home on the rocking chair, looking back going, I wonder what my life would have been like if I would have XYZ.
Yeah, and we hear about this all the time, but the fact is, do what you want. You and I just had a mutual colleague life come to a very abrupt end.
Very quickly.
And nobody's promised tomorrow.
Yeah.
So make yourself happy today and start in small ways. I think you had a good point earlier when you were saying you do something every day to move yourself forward. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can just be just really small things, but that's going to start restoring the health and the healing. Just doing one thing every day, something new, something different to help you go forward.
Yeah, it's important, Denise. It's so important. We can't stay stuck in this heavy cloud that we're under. Yes,
because it sucks.
It sucks. You need to experience that darkness. You need to go through it. I'm not saying to anybody that they should just pass over the grief. No.
That's different. You're saying walk through it and know that as you walk through this dark, dark place that you're in, you look down the road, you take another step and you start to see some green grass and some sun and some birds. You start to notice those things again, one step at a time.
One step at a time. And you see people, that's kind of the good thing about a group, is you see people in there that are further along on the journey than you are, who are doing okay. You know, who are doing okay. Maybe they've gone on and gotten another pet. It always makes me really sad when people say, I can never get another pet because I'm so devastated right now. I can't do that to myself again. And it took me 3 years to get Stelly, but I did because, oh my God, Denise, I could never imagine my life without having a pet in it.
Well, you know, that's so funny that you say that because my dog's laying down here sleeping below my feet. But I think as I get older, ooh, should I get another pet? And then all of a sudden I thought, I can't imagine myself. And I always feel bad for people who can't have pets anymore. They're in a place that doesn't allow it. And I thought, you know what? I could do, I don't have to own another pet, but I could be a resource for fostering pets. And because I worry about not being able to take care of it if I pass away. But there's a lot of different ways that I could, you know, do that, still enjoy the warmth and love of a pet and help out at the same time. So never say never.
Never say never.
You can say, I'll be ready someday.
Yeah, maybe it's volunteering at the Humane Society. Maybe it's just going in and
a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Pet sitter. Make money.
Sitter. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be an awesome profession just on
I know.
especially during COVID?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, when this is over, you know that different websites have places, I can't remember the names of it now, but you'll go and live in their home around the world and take care of their pets while they're on vacation. So you can go to Italy and all kinds of different places, live in the home, take care of the pets, get paid, and have a vacation.
How phenomenal would that be?
I think it's a cool idea.
I think it's a very cool idea. I didn't know about that. I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised.
Now, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, the pets are most at home in their own home. So yeah, what a phenomenal, yeah, that's cool.
I can't remember what that site is named, but there's several. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
Pet sitting, trading, pet sitting for homes at their homes.
So Denise, as a final wrap up, the I am statement is a very, very important statement. So you've given the people on the group, I love the white stone ceremony. I've never heard of that before. I love that.
You can Google it, and you can do it anytime. You can sit at home and do it by yourself.
Right. I love that. I think that's a very healing process. And I'm actually going to look it up, and maybe I'll put some instructions down below on how people can do something like that at home. What's the biggest takeaway that you can give somebody right now that's going through hell? What kind of motivational message can you give them, knowing that it's not going to be like that forever, even though it feels like it may be?
I think you've done a good job of it already, but I believe that the biggest thing that you can do is to love yourself and know that your journey is unique, and take a small step. Love yourself. Shower yourself with love. Listen to what you want and need, and don't deny it. Give yourself what you need as far as it's possible, and take a little step. Be very kind to yourself. And, find the reasons that you're happy you had this time with that loving pet. Like you said earlier, what it taught you, what it gave to you. I'll never forget Jack sitting next to me and just taking his paw, never scratched me ever one time, just so gently. Taught me tenderness. And he was a cat that accepted everybody and everything. So my other cat that would constantly beat him up was a bully. Is. Now he misses him. So
yeah, nobody to beat up.
Just be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind and loving.
Absolutely.
And watch your words. Use them to build you up.
Thank you. Thank
you for the privilege.
Thank you for sharing, and thank you for such a wonderful motivational message. You taught me some things that I didn't know, and I still can't believe your age. I just said, well, after
I'm blushing.
you're gonna have to send me a picture of your driver's license, because I find that very hard to believe. Incredible.
Yeah, really, I'm 40 saying I'm 70 because I like the reaction it gives me. No, not
exactly. It's like, good for you, girl.
If you could see my hands close up, you'd know I was telling the truth. Hands don't lie, or rarely.
I have even more respect for you. I love that people don't limit themselves to being in a box, because it takes a lot of courage to climb outside of that box and to do things that aren't necessarily comfortable.
Yeah,
but it's never too late to start to do something that you absolutely love to do. What are you waiting for?
That's right. Yeah, what are you going to do? Why would you sit off and not do it? Do it, have some fun. Kenda, I'm all about having fun. Right. I'm not doing it if it's not fun, and go have some fun and define your own fun.
Yeah. I love that, Denise. I love you.
I love you too.
For the message.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me on. Take care of yourselves, everybody. You're going to get through this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Denise.
Bye.
Bye-bye.